Going live. It's live. This hangout is on air live. Cool, man. Hey guys, what's up? This is Max from thatbloggingthing.com, and I'm here with the brandmaster himself, Mr. Rocky Vega, and we're doing this little thing here. We thought it'd be cool to just kind of get a little one-on-one time with the man himself. You've probably seen a lot of his work all over a ton of people's blogs, ton of people's a lot of the T-shirts that you've seen, a lot of the Empower events. He's done a ton of work for just multiple different groups, like different network marketing groups, different teams, different everything, logos, banners, websites. You want it, he's your guy. So I was fortunate enough to convince him to hop on a quick live little interview with me at 2 o'clock in the morning here, and that's what you got to do though when you market online. You work crazy hours and you do things that most people won't do. So, Rocky Vega, you want to say hi?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, man? So cool. So we got Rocky Vega here. So, Rocky Vega, who are you and what do you do?
Okay, well, first, I gotta say, I don't mind 2 a.m. I'm usually up during these hours anyway, so it's all good. Uh, but just, I guess for the public record, um, my name is Corey. That is my legal name, and Rocky Vega is actually a stage name that I picked for myself back in about 2011. It was shortly after my brother-in-law at the time and I had decided to go into music production. We had actually devised a hip hop project together, which is currently on hiatus, but we do look to resume sometime in the near future. But Rocky Vega was actually a stage name that I chose for myself. And as I got into online marketing and branding and just kind of getting my name more out there, I just kind of stuck with it. It was a name that I really just felt a lot more comfortable with. So I mean, I'm transparent with my real identity. Like I'll tell you all day, like my name, my birthplace, all that. It doesn't really bother me. I'm not going to tell you my social security number, but I'll tell you like pretty much anything else like that you ask me. Um, but it's just been kind of more of a name that has just it's been more comfortable for me to adopt and just get myself out there with. And a lot of people they tell me it's cool. Like I had some chick the other day, she inboxed me saying, "I'm just so in love with your name." I'm like, okay, well, that works for me.
That's awesome.
I,
That's awesome.
I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. I am still in Chicago. Been here pretty much all my life. Never lived in any other city or state. Well, I've been to plenty of other places. Mostly stuff that's either like still around like Central North America, um, or maybe more east. I've seen California, I've seen Texas, I've seen plenty of different states. And I saw Puerto Rico about 2 years ago. That was the first venture off the mainland, so that was cool. But I've lived here my entire life, and this year in August I will actually be celebrating my 30th birthday. So
Congratulations, brother. It's a big milestone right there.
yeah, I
Yeah.
uh, I worked a full-time security job before getting into online marketing. I left that job in June last year, and I was doing that job for almost 4 years at the time before I really just decided to take a leap of faith and just pursue these endeavors full time. And I definitely wouldn't trade for anything. Like you have to pay me a lot to go back into the corporate world. Um, but I mean, essentially, that's who I am. I'm a father of one beautiful little girl who I wouldn't trade for anything. Um, and even though like I have my persona that most people see, most people are familiar with. At the end of the day, I'm just another guy. Um, I'm not really a superhero, even though I might dress like one. but I'm just me.
Right on. So you call yourself the brand master. What is why do you feel that branding is so important for anybody doing any online marketing.
Well, the funny story about that, I actually just kind of um, adopted that name as it was given to me because originally I was going by a different moniker. I was going by RockyVega, the Power Marketer, which was something that was more influenced from Power Rangers because I'm a huge
Right.
fan. Like I'm not ashamed of my game. You know, I'm a geek. Um, just true to heart. Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Power Rangers, I love it all. You know, Marvel comics, DC comics, doesn't matter. Like I love all that stuff. And the Power Marketer was just kind of like a moniker that I came up with originally to just kind of uh, help help stand out a little more online. And as my as my reputation grew for my skills with design and branding, um, the people actually gave me the moniker the BrandMaster. So the more that I just kind of said it to myself, the more I really just started to like it, and I kind of started to grow out of the power marketer, and I didn't want to have like too many different names out there and confuse people. Like, okay, is this guy the same person? So I figured, okay, you know what? I'm still kind of up and coming right now, or at least at that time. So I dropped the power marketer and I just embraced the brand master. Um,
Makes sense.
Now, as far as like people branding online, um, this is an interesting topic because there's a lot of people out there who have done really well and um, they swear by branding. Um, and there's a lot of people who have done really well and they say the exact opposite. Like I've even seen somebody post a blog post about like if somebody tells you that you need to brand yourself this and that whatever, it's just they're uh, trying to find an opportunity to get into your pockets, you know. But the interesting thing about it is, this entire time I'm reading this blog post, I can't help but notice like I'm looking at this guy's website just as an example, and it's not like the most elaborate or anything, but it's still clean, it's professional looking. It looks like presentable enough for me to take him seriously. So it makes me wonder, because this whole argument was, is just more so about just producing, staying productive, getting the work done, which I don't disagree with at all. Especially if you're just starting out, you should definitely have a strong focus on production, because as you're really just getting things out there are some things about your brand that kind of fall into place automatically, especially if you're being true to yourself. But at
Right.
the same time, I don't think this guy really understood uh, that he was actually branding himself in the process anyway. See, the thing is, branding isn't necessarily about like fancy graphics. It's not necessarily about certain colors or even like a pair of sunglasses that most people might remember a certain individual by, like me, for example. Like I'm not wearing them now because well, they broke, but most people have come to know me by they remember me by the colors red, black, and white because I tend to wear those colors frequently. They remember me by certain style of dress um, with those colors, and also a pair of like a trademark pair of white frame sunglasses. Um, but the thing is, like, none of that stuff itself is necessarily a brand, right? My personal logo or anybody else's personal or business logo is not necessarily a brand. It's really the entire experience that you give to people, which is the brand. Brand itself, when you talk about an individual person, is basically the culture of you. The culture of the real you. And at the end of it all, a brand is going to be something of like a perception that people have. It's the impression that people get when they see either you or whatever product you're putting out there, or whatever, whatever XYZ company is all about. When people think of McDonald's, for example, there's a certain experience that comes to mind more than anything, not just like the food or maybe like, the commercials or the prices or like the Happy Meal toys. It's the experience overall that they've gotten used to with McDonald's. When people think of something like Nike, maybe like the Nike store, um, they're thinking about an experience. They might be
Just do
thinking
it.
about the experience they've got from wearing Nikes, right?
Right.
And, like this guy in his blog, there's a certain experience that people get every time they go and they see his blog and they read his content. So for me, it's just the thing is when you brand yourself properly or you brand your business properly, then what happens is you're basically putting everything into alignment. And the thing is, without that alignment, you're risking about 60% of sales that you could have otherwise. Because without proper branding, you don't really have a clear message that you're giving to your audience, which is all the more reason why I'm not really sure like where some people get their theories from when they talk about like, like forget branding, like branding doesn't mean anything or this, and that or whatever, but they don't understand that there are things that they do already in their business that is branding. Because I guess maybe that's just because there is that misconception that branding is just all about like graphic design or fancy logos, this or that or whatever. But it's not. Branding is about that experience as a whole and the message that you give to your audience, to your target market.
Well, because all in all, really, it's not really so much the company that you represent. It's really like people don't buy the company; they buy you more than
Exactly.
anything, right? So, I mean, realistically, I think when you give yourself the label brandmaster, all you do is really help people realize who they are and help them establish themselves as more or less as an entity
Exactly.
online. You know what I mean? How to basically break away from the spam marketers and how to break away from the company marketers and how to break away from the guys that you know just push out links and don't really know how to really get themselves to stand out as an individual.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially like on social media, for example, they all tend to do things like like they all just got everything out of the same box, right? It's like it's canned. It's typical. It's cliche. It's spammy, and it's just like you can't blame them per se because obviously they don't know any better.
Right.
Uh, because if they did, then the chances of them doing it would be a lot lower. Um, but this is all the more reason why something uh, like branding is important because branding, like it's like I said before, branding is about an experience. So if you're just spamming links on like your Facebook timeline all the time, that's an experience that you're creating for people. It might not be an effective one, but it's still an experience. And if it is that kind of experience, then you're going to see just how effective or not so effective it is very quickly. So
I think the latter most of the time, which is why you see a lot of like wannabe online marketers bounce from
exactly
company to company to company to company, chasing those.
right because they don't know any better.
Yeah, and I mean, and what's funny about it is it's like if you didn't make any money in your first deal or your second deal or your 12th deal, what makes you
Right,
think that you're going to make any money on your 13th deal
right,
doing the same bad marketing
right.
that that you think works just because somebody promised you that you're going to make $1 million,
Yeah,
tomorrow, with a $10 investment, obviously like there are red flags should pop up a little bit,
right.
but hey, that's a whole other topic
Now,
of conversation.
the crazy thing about it is you can sell anything. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. You can sell anything when you just have that message properly aligned with people, and you know how to do it in a way that isn't just going to make you look like another amateur marketer. So if you just like, it's just a matter of getting the right training. It's a matter of getting the right education, um, that's going to help you go in that direction. Because otherwise, you are just going to be out there like a chicken just running around with his head cut off. You're going to be just throwing stuff everywhere, and you're doing a lot, but you're still wondering why you're not getting any results, and that's because that stuff is not targeted. And target marketing plays a big part in branding as well. Again, that's aligning your message with the masses.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, and I think, man, that was good. I'm glad we're doing this, man. This is like getting down to the core of like who Rocky Vega is. So, so I know you've got a team that you're building, the
Yes,
Firebirds, right?
true.
And if they want to check that out, that's www.firebirds with a Z
Right.
com. So firebirds.com.
Got it.
And if anybody wants to check out any of your work, because and I can tell you this from personal experience, Rocky does some kick ass work. Like this isn't like your normal, I'm some college kid trying to make a couple extra bucks. You know what I mean? This is like super beyond high grade professional work. And when I post this video on my blog, underneath you'll be able to scroll down and see pretty much all the work that Rocky's, well, not necessarily all the work that Rocky's done, but a lot of the work that Rocky's done, and it's all just, it's beyond professional. You know what I mean? Like I've never met anybody that's seen any of Rocky's work that has been like, oh man, that's crap. Because you see a lot of want to be like designers that like tell you that they're designers and they want to charge you. And you can designers, and you'll even have people that's like, just hire somebody on Fiverr to do it for you, and you'll get a $5 graphic design. You'll get a $5 logo. You'll get five. You'll let's just put it this way: you'll get what you pay for. Now, at the same time, when you hire Rocky, you get what you pay for. And that's kind of the real beauty of it. And I've been utterly blessed to be working with Rocky now for what do you say, about 6 months now?
I think so.
Oh shit! It might actually be close to a year if you think about it. Because I
My
mean,
my anniversary date is on the 13th.
okay,
So I don't know if we've known each other since I've been in, but it's going on a year now. So it'll be official in this month.
yeah, yeah, and I think we've known each other close to a year. And I know when we were in Vegas together, you got the trophy, you got the Dream Team trophy for what was it? Was it Rookie of the Year or?
Yeah, with the rookie award, that was totally unexpected too. The really funny thing is like everybody knows me so well as Rocky Vega. Like the award said that instead of my real name, so it was like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I understand why. Like nobody knows, like nobody seems to know, like, but it's like I said, like I don't hide my real name per se. This is just, that's just a name that I just kind of market out to the public. But like I tell everybody my name who asks. Like my own sponsors, they know my real name, but they call me Rocky because
Right.
that's what I prefer. You know my real name. Um, our buddies Matt and Ray, they know my real name. There's plenty of people, and even when we were in Vegas, I got on stage. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude.
I think it's very, yeah, right.
You can do it.
You
You
know,
can do it. It was
it
it
was a
was
hell of an
epic.
experience. And it was totally unexpected, but it was very cool though. But I even got on stage, and first thing I said, I was very transparent. It just like it doesn't bother me if anybody knows what my name is, but that was just kind of funny how I get this award, and it says RockyVega on it. I'm just like, wow, like okay. Like,
Makes you think, right?
but yeah, that was matter of fact. Let me see. I think I have that.
You got it here?
Yeah, yeah,
I want to see it because I didn't actually get. I saw pictures of it on Facebook,
yeah.
but
Yep, I got it right here. It's pretty cool. You know, the ironic thing about it is, the ironic thing about it is the fact that this thing is shaped just like a pyramid.
right, like the red triangle.
All right. Yeah, that's for another hangout. If you want to know what that is, then you can either get involved directly with myself or Matt, and you can find out what that is. But that is a whole nother conversation. But,
Absolutely.
but yeah, man, like I wasn't even expecting that. Cause I got it because I had contributed some things recently to the Dream Team, and they weren't like I don't know, like when I do things like that, I do it for the team. Um, and like I didn't even really charge for any of that stuff either. Like usually I don't even like to do free work if I can help it, only because I know I'm going to spend a lot of time, more times than not, because I want to make sure that I actually do something that's good. I don't really like the idea of just slapping stuff together really quick just to make a quick dollar. Um, so but a lot of stuff like that I did, um, I wasn't really compensated for. I just did it because I wanted to. I did it because I wanted to contribute um, to the Dream Team itself. I made us a design like the concept for our weekly hangouts. I put like some all-in banners together for new team members, and I made us some pretty nifty T-shirt designs too. Um, but that was just because I wanted to contribute to just that overall feel that the team had, something that they could see, or really, some things that they could see and be proud to associate with their team. Because when you have like kind of a low budget look, um, people see that, and they see through that. Like don't get me wrong, there are people who have succeeded. They've done very well, and they've done it without like ultra fancy looking type stuff. But I can guarantee you, at one point or another, the more their revenue got, the more they've improved on visual branding. Like that, I can guarantee. If you ever seen like the JG Wentworth commercials, it's your money. Uh, Use it when you need it. I think that's like how the whole slogan goes. If you ever saw the original commercials,
It
it was
was
him
so.
standing there with like
Yeah,
the phone number in front of like right to his side or something, and he'd just be just talking. And now it's like if you don't know the JG Wentworth commercials, then you're probably just not watching enough TV, which is not necessarily a bad thing,
no.
because like I definitely don't watch as much TV as I used to. I don't even have cable anymore. Like I have no need for it. But if you don't know that J.G. Wentworth commercial where they're all singing on the bus, it's like But that's perfect proof right there, though. He started off with something that was more low budget, and as he built up more, he gave you something different. He came out with something,
More
something more clever.
better. Yeah, makes sense.
Because of that, like if you've seen that commercial, you remember it, you know it, and it's a lot more memorable than the old ones he did before. Because like every lawyer in the book who has the commercial when they start off, they do it the same way. They all do it the same way. They just stand there. Then they have like this real serious look on their face, and they talk about like if you need help with car insurance, or if you had like an accident recently, or if you've taken this medication and it gave you this side effect or whatever, we can get you money. This that. It's the same deal. Doesn't matter like exactly who they're reaching out to. What kind of problems that person might have. It's like the template is all the same. So it just makes me really glad to see that J.G. Wentworth actually broke away from that as he started to get more revenue.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, that's what I really encourage, like, everybody who's in business and in marketing to do. And it's even like it's always good to reinvent yourself after like maybe 2 or 3 years anyway. You don't have to like totally transform like from a big robot to a fighter jet, like a transformer. But
Right.
you at least want to reinvent yourself a little bit. Tracy Walker is a good example of that. She had kind of like this look where it was like kind of flashy. She had like a shoulderless dress, um, and she had kind of like sort of a semi-short haircut going on, kind of glammy. It was nice. And then she came out this year with in 2015, and she kind of changed it up a little bit. She actually added a little more class and sophistication to her look, kind of like this nice white blouse or brassiere, whatever the term is. I'm not like
Well,
um,
it
expert
wasn't
on
a brassiere, I'll tell you that.
whatever it was. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on women's clothing terms.
Yeah. She's a mom now though. I mean,
Right.
that's part of the difference though. I think
I
kind of
see.
what you're saying is that you have to you don't do a complete 180 on the whole game, but you do
Right.
have to evolve.
Right. Exactly. That
You
is
know,
that
and
is
that's the thing. And it's like, and if people follow you and they see what you're doing, they have to see that growth.
right.
And I read a great quote the other day, which I think kind of like ties into what you're saying, to where it's like, don't judge my chapter 30 against your chapter 1,
Right.
because everybody has to evolve
Right.
in
Everybody
every
has a
level.
chapter one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like my chapter 12 compared to your chapter 1, or my chapter 1 compared to somebody else's chapter 30. It's like everybody has to put in the work, everybody has to put in the grind,
Yeah.
and everybody has to. I mean, you grow. You know what I mean? You grow when you run a business. You know what I mean? Whether it's offline or online. You know what I mean? You have to grow with the business. You know what I mean? Like, your business is really you, and it's like, and if you stay stuck as a beginner always, you know what I mean? How do you expect your business to ever grow? Whereas it's like, if you're constantly evolving and you're constantly learning, because I mean, basically, like, I think me and you've been online now for about the same amount of time. I think I've got a couple more months on you, um, but you just, I went on a little bit of a different path, but realistically, like, I can look back at where I was last year, with my online marketing compared to where I am this year. And it really is, dude. It's a complete 180. You know what I mean? And it's everything. Like my overall understanding of the game, my overall understanding of just how everything works, what doesn't work, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. You almost become a different person too in the process.
And you kind of have to. You know what I mean? And it's not like you're a different person. You're just a better version of yourself.
Exactly.
Especially like if you take your business serious. And that's the thing. It's like, I was watching this video the other day, and it was 'cause that's what I do. I like to watch videos and stuff, and like research and brainstorm on what other people are doing. And what my buddy Chris was saying was, basically, it was just, like, you've got to, you don't want to necessarily stick yourself as like, I'm the end all be all guru, Mr. Awesome person, you know what I mean? But I am the person that, basically, like, I'm a part of this. I'm a living, breathing, growing, you know, uh, kind of kind of individual. You know what I mean? To where it's like, I'm gonna grow, you're gonna watch me grow, and you can grow with me, or you can just watch me do it, and you'll still be doing the same shit you've been doing, but pretty much last. Because, and I know that that's the fact for most people. You know what I mean? If you don't actually make the change or make the decision to do something with yourself, what happens is you end up just, you kind of flatline your life.
Yeah.
Change and growth is a constant part of, like, evolution as human beings. It's the evolution of people. It's what you do. It's what you're supposed to do. It's who you are. But it's like, some people just like to, I'm comfortable here, and I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
And I don't, and because it's safe. And what's really scary about that is that, like, once, some people get stuck in that, 20, 30, 40 years later, they're still that same person. It's like that Al Bundy syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in high school, I was the best damn kicker for Polk High. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
Right.
you know, where it's like literally you graduated, you know, and now you're in your, you know, potentially 40s, 50s, and you're still living your heyday of your high school football team. You know what I mean? Whereas it's like every phase. You know what I mean? I'm fired up that you're turning 30, man. Because I know when I turned 30, I was just like, you know, there's part of me I was like, fuck, I turned 30. But there was another part of me I was like, you know what, man, 30 is not bad. And I'm like, shit, man, I'm like 3.5 years away from 40 now, and I'm just like, I'm living it, man. Like I'm still loving it. I mean, life is great. And I'm blessed to have been around this long and just know all the stuff that I know and meet and network and kick around stuff with all the people that have just life is beautiful. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of it has to do with your perspective and the people you surround yourself with, who you network with, you know, and basically like how you feel about yourself, which all in all basically all boils down to once again branding. You know what I mean? Because you can't be you can't, and I see this all the time. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, you see people, and my buddy Scott actually put this on a post the other day where it was just like this guy was trying to recruit me to join his deal, and I looked at his Facebook page, and he's bitching and whining on his Facebook page about how nobody's joining him and people aren't showing up for his meetings. But the next day he's on there like, you know, he's chatting with Scott about it, where it's like, hey man, you know, you should come meet me. I got this great deal, and everybody's joining and all this other stuff. And that's kind of what it is, man. It's just like you got to be transparent. And I mean, it's people in today's society, today's day and age, man. Social media has pretty much made you can't hide. You know what I mean? You can't hide behind something else than other than who you are.
Yeah.
Hence why once you accept the benefit of branding, you know, you can really run with it and just go crazy with it, you know, compared to trying to deny the fact that it needs to be done.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. This is cool, man. I'm glad we're doing this. This is fun, man. As I was like, let's keep it at 15 minutes, and I think we're running at like 30 right now. This is like the in-depth, like let's brain pick. I'm actually fired up that this is recording. So,
I'm enjoying this a lot.
huh?
I'm enjoying this a lot
This
myself.
is cool, man. This because this was kind of like impromptu. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and it's just like finally, I'm like, all right, man. You know, I'm snowed in. I'm not doing anything. Let's
There's there's an interesting little nugget that I've wanted to share for a while.
okay.
Really had like the right opportunity. Um, it kind of goes along a little bit with kind of what you were saying about the other guy just now, who's like always complaining, you know, about nobody joining this, that, whatever. There's an there's an interesting concept that I don't think too many people really understand, even when they're so-called branding experts. And that is a concept I really like to refer to as internal branding, because you have like your visual branding, which might be composed of your logo, maybe a color palette that you like people to see every time that they see your stuff, and it might be like what else? Maybe like the kind of stuff that you wear, or maybe like you always have like a certain car or like a certain beach background that you're always in front of with stuff. And then you have like your content branding, which is the actual stuff that you put out there. So if you're a blogger, for example, the stuff that you're actually blogging about is, you know, that's your content. And you do also brand yourself through the stuff that you put out there too, because if you're a blogger, then your content is then like your product, because that's basically what you're offering to people. And all the same, you know, a product is like content branding. You know, it just might be content in a different form. It's content, like if it's an info product, for example, it's content in the form of maybe a video or a PDF or, you know, something of that nature. But if it's like, you know, a pair of shoes, then it's content in the form of a tangible product. Um, but internal branding is basically something that starts in here. It starts in the mind. And this is a lot of where the whole be a product of the product thing kind of comes from. Because you have to, the thing is like before you can really align the message with the masses, with the marketplace, you also have to align it with yourself too. And most people don't quite understand that. The thing is, you have to really be like completely in line, not just when you put things out there to people, but also behind the scenes. Like when if you're in the office, for example, maybe you run a business from an office, like downtown, in whatever city you're in, um, you need to still be in that same state of mind with that brand because if you it's like the whole how you practice is how you play theory.
Yeah. I had an old boss of mine that used to tell me, he's like, perception is everything.
Yes.
You know, people judge you 99.9% of the time by what they see and what you do.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't know your thoughts, they don't know anything about you, but how you carry yourself, how you hold yourself, and how you present yourself is way more important than just on a social level than anything else.
Yeah. There's a different energy there. There's a much different energy that people um, will just kind of like feel when when your demeanor is a certain way. You know, if you like, it's confidence, for example. You take like relationships between like men and women, for example. Women can usually smell a high amount of confidence on a man a mile away, which is one thing that generally attracts them to a particular man so much. It's like he doesn't have to even be like the best looking guy in the world. He doesn't even have to be like the richest guy in the world. Most women generally love a man who is confident about himself. There's a certain energy that he just projects out there when he is confident like that. And it's no different when it comes to business either. You know, you want to have like that same confidence behind like whatever it is that you're doing. And the thing is like when you're confident about that, when you believe in what it is that you're doing, then it amplifies the energy of what you're trying to put out there as far as your service or your product. So in turn, it makes your business more powerful. And then those 60% of sales that generally come from proper branding, you're a lot more likely to see them come into your bank account.
Makes total sense. Makes total sense.
It's
I don't.
not a concept I get to talk about very much, um, but it's one that's very important. It's extremely important.
Totally. Well, no, because I mean, a lot of times when we're doing online, like live stuff like this, it's usually like training on blogging or keywords or how to rank stuff or whatever. It's never actually like the mindset aspect of like what's so important about branding.
Yeah.
This is cool, man.
I mean, the technical stuff matters. It does matter, but it's like it's still only a portion of the equation. You know, it's like you'll never get the complete answer without all sides.
Got to be the complete package. It's pretty much what it is. You know, you got to be the complete package. You got to be front end, back end, side end. You know, core, all of it. So I think so if people want to contact you, Rocky, how do they do? They go to because I know you gave me you said so if you guys are looking for some really badass, you know, just branding, and if you've watched this all the way through, which I hope you did, because this is some pretty killer info that not a lot of people are privy to. Usually we charge for stuff like this, and let's just post way. It's Facebook.com. I am Rocky Vega. No spaces, no hyphens, all the way through. And if you want to see some of Rocky's work, it's once again it's Facebook.com. Rocky RockyVega Rocky Vega BM. That's got Rocky's online portfolio. A lot of the work he's done. I mean, Rocky's done. Dude, you've done work for, I mean, shit tons of people, bro. I mean, like, anybody, everybody from online banners to logos to everything to some really amazing. For those of you guys that have ever seen the Teespring T-shirt campaigns run across your news feed and Facebook, I guarantee you quite a few of those have been Rocky's designs, or at least the really good ones have been Rocky's designs. Because I've seen some really bad ones. And did you want to kind of name drop a little bit here, or you just want to keep it copacetic and not even go there?
Well, I mean, like I have done some work for some fairly big names, um, which we're all like they're all humbling experiences, especially since like a lot of these people have been in the game a lot longer than me. So for them to reach out to me, it says a lot, and it makes me feel really good about what I'm doing. Um, and again, it's like I've even had people like I've had some bigger names approach me. They haven't they haven't followed through, but the fact that they thought of me, it says a lot, and it means a lot to me, and it is very humbling. Because I know at one point, like people like that didn't even know I existed. They didn't even like they I wasn't even a blip on the radar. Um, so it's humbling to remember that and to have that experience. But like, if anybody is familiar, like with Chris Record, for example, he's got a particular product called Dark Post Profits that he's really well known for. Guy's like a master when it comes to Facebook marketing. And if you really want to get like into to Facebook marketing on a higher level, I would highly encourage you check that out. But we've done like some t-shirt work together. We've done a lot of that and a few other miscellaneous things. I've done some full-fledged branding work for William Wood, who is actually the brother, well, one of the brothers of David Wood, who is the CEO of the Power Network. That was a recent project that I got to take on, which was very cool. Um, Obviously, I've helped brand your team in the black.
Absolutely,
It's still one of my favorite logos.
it's definitely one of mine.
I have I've done some work for Paul Gardner, who's a six-figure earner in our company. Of course, those results are not typical, but
Our network backslash or forward slash income if you want to see income disclosure.
but
We love compliance.
right, yeah, we do love compliance. But I've done like pretty much all the branding for Team Blade, um, and I've even branded like Paul's blog, his old blog, and his girlfriend and partner in crime, Kimberly Denise. I branded her old blog too. Um, like there's a lot I've done. I've done some branding work for Tracy Walker, and even some stuff for the Dream Team. And so it's it's been pretty cool, and I know there's more to come, and I'm looking forward to it.
Fired up, man. Great things are happening, bro. I mean, 2015, I made a promise to myself this year that this was going to be a year of massive, massive breakthroughs and massive forward momentum. And so far, it has been for me. I know it has been for you. I know it has been for a lot of people. And I think realistically, once people, I just learned this about myself, and I don't know how many people out there feel this way, but I just know like once you stop fighting yourself and
Yep.
just learn to go with it, because certain things happen for a reason. The universe kind of throws you messages, and whatever you believe in, whether it's universe, whether it's God, whether it's Allah, whether it's I don't care. You know what I mean? Like there, you'll get messages all the time about what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. And a lot of times, like it's very natural and it's normal to resist because there is that once again that comfort level. But let me
I
tell you,
so expect.
yeah, nothing ever happens in the comfort level. The comfort level is basically your death zone. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like where you grow stagnant and you never actually like really see what you're capable of. And I just know this is that like pretty much people join people that are doing things. People join people that are moving and with forward momentum, massive amounts of forward momentum, and have the energy and the push and the drive to really go through and make things happen. So um, I'm just gonna plug this right here, real quick. If you guys do contact Rocky, you're gonna use the code Mr. Black, okay? Because that's just the code. You know, I'm part of the BrandMaster Circle here, and this is a semi. I'm gonna give out a 10-second promo there, but
Do contact me from hearing through this video. Make sure that you do give me the code, Mr. Black, so that I know that it came from here. That's very important.
yeah, don't use and if you guys have ever seen Reservoir Dogs, it was just part of the it was the ongoing joke of how that name got started for the names of people. But dude, man, I think, is there anything else you want to say, or
I think that about covers it, man.
I think
I've
I think
enjoyed
this
this
is
a lot.
awesome.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Nah, no sweat, bro. I mean, honestly, like this really fired me up. Like I it's 3 in the morning now, and I'm just like, I feel like I should be going to sleep, but I'm actually fired up. Like I've literally I've knocked out 3 blog posts today, and I think I might do a fourth one just before I go to bed. Just on the just literally just covering what we went over, because I really do believe that branding is that important. And when it comes to this, and I don't care, and guys, listen, you could be in Empower, you could be in anything. The main thing is this, is that, like, if you're going to be running a business, if you're going to be marketing a business, if you're going to be doing anything online, you have to be able to stand out from the crowd. You know what I mean? You don't just want to be that, I'm a representative for this company, and this is why I'm so. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what. And unfortunately, guys, this is what most of you guys do. That's what most of you. And I'm listen. I'm guilty of it. And I think everybody's guilty of it. When you first start, that's all. Because what happens is you get all those bad cliches in your head. You think that that's what you're supposed to be, and that's how you're supposed to act, and that's what you're supposed to do, and unfortunately, most people don't tell you that that's not what you're supposed to do. You know, they'll just say, yeah, just you're doing great, just keep doing it, you're doing fine. You know, because a lot of people just don't want to put in the time to teach you or train you. You know, and I know when we started in the black, like our whole purpose was to not do that. It was to basically teach people and train people and develop people to market correctly. You know what I mean? And not just be a Facebook spammer, not just be, getting, banned from Facebook every other week because all you're doing is spamming crappy links in groups and not really connecting with people and not building relationships and really not building yourself as any type of like real business person, and part of the, I don't know, man, part of the reason I like wearing t-shirts and I like wearing sweatpants and I like just, making money from home. And there's I've been in sales for a very long time, and I've always been able to make money in t-shirts and sweatpants and t-shirts and jeans or whatever. Just, I've realized a long time ago that it's not really about what you're selling if you're confident in yourself. You know what I mean? If you know who you are and you know how to market yourself, like, you can pretty much do anything. Online's a little bit of a different game though, because there's so many hundreds and thousands of people throwing sales pitches out there. It's like, how do you make yourself stand out? How do you brand yourself as somebody that people want to work with? And I can tell you this, if you do decide to work with Rocky, and when you decide to work with Rocky, if you're smart, dude, this guy can take you, he can help take you to some pretty amazing levels in your business, so Rocky, you got anything else you want to say, or?
Yeah, there's one particular quote um, that that I really resonate with a lot. Trying to find it really quickly because I can't remember who it was from, but it basically just says, uh, you were born a first class original. Don't die a second grade copy.
That's Absolute truth.
So if I could finish us out with anything, it would be that.
You were born a what? A first grade original?
We're born a first class original. Don't die a second grade copy.
Right on. And you know what? In honor of Leonard Nimoy today, I'm going to end it with one of the best Spock quotes I've ever heard. You know, loss of life is not to be mourned. What loss of life is to be mourned, but only if the life is wasted.
Mm.
And that's some really deep, deep shit. You know what I mean? Like the loss of life is to be mourned, but you should only mourn the person if they wasted their life. And realistically, guys, like we're all given a certain amount of time on this planet. We're all given a certain amount of time on this earth. We're all given a certain amount of time. We're all given the same amount of time in a day, same amount of time in a year, and like what you do with it is really your choice. And I just know this, man. Like I've buried some people that have wasted their lives, and I've celebrated a lot more people that have done amazing amazing things with their lives. And if you and once again, if you don't judge your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 30. You know what I mean? Because everybody else has to start off on chapter 1 through every new enterprise. You know, and it's all a learning curve. It's all a game. It's all part of learning the game and playing the game and becoming a master at the game. You know, and let's just put it this way: if you link up, you decide to link up with us, we can teach you how to play the game and play the game right. So on that note, Mr. Rocky Vega, I appreciate you coming on to one of thatbloggingthing.com's wonderful interviews with our celebrity marketers and branding masters and stuff, and you know, soon to be I just know this, dude. Like literally, let's say a couple of years from now, this is gonna be like gold. It's gonna be a golden interview where people will be like, "Oh, man, I remember that interview." It's like, yeah, I remember that interview too. You know, I remember that interview too. And what's funny is just like you can take a look at us now because you know, and you guys may be watching this tomorrow. You guys may be watching this a year from now. You guys may be watching this 2 years from now. You may be watching this 10 years from now. Remember this face, and remember that face, because we're doing big things. Okay. On that note, I'm signing off. This has been awesome. Thank you, Rocky. You know, and guys, just in case, just to rehash this real quick, it's facebook.com/I am Rocky Vega. And if you want to see Rocky's work, it's /Rocky Vega BM BrandMaster. You can see all of his work, but I'm probably throwing this on a blog post anyway, so you'll be able to scroll down and just see it. Anyway, Max Uvas, thatbloggingthing.com, Rocky Vega, the brand master, and we